Hi, I'm Ruthie Roll.
And I'm Bob Roll. We want to talk about how Jesus changed our lives.
My life before Jesus was not a life at all. I was involved in gangs and drugs and just partying and just out there with hanging out with all my friends. Didn't have a relationship with God. Knew about the Lord. My mom and dad, they would take us to church, and so I had some type of faith foundation there, but really didn't know who God was, didn't know anything about that.
Was heavily into alcohol, drugs, a lot of violence. Ended up in and out of Orange County Jail a lot. The last time was for some fairly violent crimes, and while in jail I went to a chapel service. That's when I gave my heart to Jesus, and he changed my life. So here I was divorced, she was widowed. We met at a friend's wedding and just began to build a friendship, and we both loved Jesus, and then we ended up getting married. And it was good in the beginning. We were married for 7 years, but we just got caught up in doing things for God and not about the relationship with him and with our family and with each other, and our marriage kind of fell apart, and it was a pretty ugly divorce. It was so toxic, so horrible. There was a lot of animosity, and so a lot of fight. We couldn't even talk for 1 minute without being angry and upset. But coming here to the church, I really got a lot of help through some of the groups here and some of the things that were going on, and helped me with anger that I didn't know I had, and how to communicate and how to listen. She says now I'm less religious, I think, because I've learned to listen and have empathy and things like that. 4 years into the divorce was talking about, maybe, because we still cared about each other, and wanted to reconcile and get back together. And I was just kind of, why? Why get married to get divorced again? And so I was kind of dragging my feet with that. And then she was going to another church, and they had a marriage conference, and we ended up going to that marriage conference. They were talking about how Jesus wants you to be one, and we realized that we weren't one even when we were married. He said, your marriage had to die so I could resurrect it. And we pressed through that, and that actually helped us press in harder to say, okay, God, what do you want for us? And what do I need to know? And a lot of forgiving, a lot of grace, a lot of love, a deeper love than we had before. So we were divorced, and married, divorced, and remarried again. And it's a little confusing on anniversaries and Valentine's Day, but Jesus says all things are possible with God. And for us, we're an example of that. Our lives coming to Jesus should be an impossibility. Us changing our lives was an impossibility. I actually swore when we divorced, I'll never have anything to do with this woman again. Surviving the divorce and the mess, and then coming back together, that was an impossibility.
People think it's impossible and can't do, and I could never love that person. Yes, you can. This is proof. So didn't like this guy for a long time, but but now I love him.